हाय फ्रेंड्स, हमारा आज का टॉपिक है poverty, unaffordable housing, healthcare, climate change, diplomacy. These are not you hear feminists talk about. In fact, there are bigger issues than these, like freedom to wear anything, smashing patriarchy, freedom to abort, mocking Hinduism and Hindu rituals, promoting divorce under the name of individuality and womanhood, promoting the concept of my body, my choice, demanding alimony in case of separation, etc. Feminists in India are trying their best to attain the goals of so-called equality. Please note that equality does not mean sameness. We as women are not the same. We all come from different backgrounds. We have our own languages, dreams, hopes, preferences and priorities. Then how can one feminism define us all? The problem begins when the privileged women begin thinking that they can be the representatives of the other underrepresented women and they can inspire their lives by supporting change. In the name of equality, our old traditions and culture is being destroyed. For example, let's talk about Sabrimala. The elite non-Malayali ladies decided that the centuries-old tradition in Sabrimala was patriarchy and they must liberate the female devotees of Ayyappa. The media made this issue appear as women versus patriarchy, which was actually a fight between urban feminists and faith. No one asked the female devotees if they felt oppressed. Anyways, आज के इस वीडियो में हम चर्चा करेंगे एक ऐसे समाज की in which the feminists rejected equality and they went back to the traditional roots. और क्या होता है जब किसी समाज में extreme equality आ जाती है and how sustainable is such a model. Kibbutz is a community in Israel traditionally based on agriculture in the 1950s. The society was based on socialism. The ideology of kibbutz is shared responsibility and equality. They lived in a group of 100 to 1000 people like one big family where all the people were treated equally. There was a common kitchen and all people in kibbutz ate together. There was no rich, no poor. The society was built on complete egalitarianism, जहाँ समाज में पेट्रियार्की को समाप्त करने के लिए पिता की भूमिका को ही समाप्त कर दिया गया. पति के लिए हिब्रू शब्द बाअल को त्याग दिया क्योंकि इसका मतलब था मास्टर. So in this society, marriage was monogamous. Only married couple could share an apartment. The apartment was not shared by children. Children lived in dormitories where they were looked after by educators or sometimes caretakers. They usually visited their parents at least 1 hour a day or so. Parents were not involved in the process of bringing up the children, and all children were viewed and cared for as the children of kibbutz. So this society basically rejected the concept of family. Number one, because there were no parental roles, and number two, the family members did not share the common residence. वहाँ की महिलाएं पूरी तरीके से पुरुषों के बराबर थी, सिवाय इस बात की कि वो बच्चों को पैदा कर सकती थी. सभी को हर काम करना होता था and everyone was paid equally. Such a society failed to sustain equality and had to go back to the traditional gender roles after 2 generations. So let's see some of the features of this society. Number one, it was an ideal socialist society. No one owned anything. Number two, there was no control over children. The kibbutz philosophy was so egalitarian in nature that they even wanted to free children from the clutches of patriarchal concept of parents. They observed that parents think of children as their personal property and dominate them. So they thought parental control over children was oppressive and was deterrent to full growth of children. Hence, they created a social system where children were kept in nurseries almost from very beginning of their lives. Parents were allowed to meet their children about 1 to 2 hours in a day. The child rearing responsibility was created to take away children's dependency on their fathers and thus to eliminate fathers' control over the child and end patriarchy. The children lived, slept, ate, learned from the age of 4 weeks to adolescence in the children houses. नर्सरी में लड़कों और लड़कियों में कोई फर्क नहीं था. वो सब एक जैसे कपड़े पहनते थे, एक जैसे बाल कटाते थे, and they used to play with gender neutral toys. Girls grew free of gender stereotyping and they devoted same amount of time to political and committee activities. But in spite of all these, the children fought among themselves for toys and to have more toys for them. Now this was against the values of egalitarianism based on which the society was built. And children homes were closed. Soon parents wanted to keep their children with them. Also, since these children were nurtured by different caregivers on different days, they never developed any bonding with those caregivers and felt more attached towards their parents. Hence, all the parents started pulling their children out of these homes, and soon all kibbutzim were forced to close these homes. Alongside, there were many other issues. Since the society was built on concept of socialism, no one owned anything. Everyone received the same salary, so be it a manager or a doorkeeper, there was no one wealthier than others. So this created another problem of parasites who did not contribute to the economy, and that led to the productivity crisis. In 1980s, when Israel's economic crisis started, these people went into deeper financial crisis and the government refused to bail them out. Women went against the Marxism theory. The women went against the wishes of men. The women went against the economic interests. They wanted to give more time to private maternal activities than to economic and political ones. They tried to accomplish what women in West were fighting against. Many people felt to live separately and owning private properties as the way forward. They quit agriculture and industrial roles, and they indulged themselves into cooking, cleaning, children rearing. They also started endorsing marriage as a concept. Another problem they were facing was, since the children were raised together in the children houses until a very adult age, children considered one another as siblings. So those boys didn't have any attraction to the girls, and they had to marry outside the kibbutz society. Kibbutzniks believed in egalitarianism and didn't think the way the feminists think today. They followed traditional moral standards like honesty. They were hardworking. They believed in simple living. They didn't want rights to wear anything or file false complaints. You will see that very often highly educated women and celebrities justify alimony and maintenance and also file cases to get that. They were not fighting for their rights, but the society was built on responsibilities. If we can build a society on responsibilities and human values, then only we can succeed.